Get ready for your daily dose of marketing strategies and tactics from entrepreneurs with the guile and experience to help you find success in any marketing capacity. You're listening to Marketing School with your instructors, Neil Patel and Eric Su.
Welcome to another episode of Marketing School. I'm your host, Eric Su.
And I'm Neil Patel.
And today we're going to talk about how you can research new blog topics. So I'll go ahead and kick it off. So for us, it's actually gotten a lot easier with an editorial team and also using the resources I have on my team as well. What we basically do, and this is only if you have a couple people helping you, even freelancers too, get together once a week and just talk about, everybody will come to the meeting with 5 new ideas. They'll put it into a spreadsheet. And that way, instead of, one person having the burden of coming up with all these new ideas, you can kind of crowdsource the ideas. And if you have a list as well, you can also blast out to your lists and come up with the ideas. Funny enough, for today's podcast, we actually had somebody email us with a ton of new ideas, and we're actually using, I think we've probably used, 5 or 6 of these ideas for today's podcast recordings. So yeah, you can also, ask your audience as well. I know Pat Flynn has a podcast called Ask Pat, and that's where literally everybody just kind of asks questions to Pat and he just answers the questions. I think he has a little button on his website where you can literally record into a microphone and, Pat will come back and answer your question. I think he even sends you like a t-shirt afterwards as well, just to, show some gratitude. So those are a couple ways, but I think, if you're kind of solo right now, I would say, you can use a tool like BuzzSumo, which is going to cost you a little money, or you could just go old fashioned. You can use a tool like Feedly and look at all the favorite blogs that you have and just come up with, 5 new ideas. But I think it's all about establishing a initial process.
When Eric mentioned that you can get feedback from people and you can just write blog post topics based off of that, it works really well. I only do that these days just because I already have an audience that I get so many emails. Like this gentleman, Scott, who emailed us for podcasting topics, he emailed us a lot of topics. Like you're probably talking about 20 plus, and a ton of them were good, and we're using them. And I love you to death, Scott. I wish I had my laptop open with your last name right now so I can give you some props for that. But with blog post topics, I either do where people email me or just based on problems that people are facing that I know from conferences that I'm going to or networking events or whatever it may be. The issue with this tactic is it only works if you have an audience. If you don't have an audience, it won't work well. So when I first started blogging, what I used to do is I would just Google a ton of keywords and phrases. Nowadays, you can use tools like BuzzSumo to do this. So you put in keywords related to your space, you see what's hot, and then you can use Brian Dean's skyscraper technique by just one-upping their article and writing something that's much better. When I used to do it, because there was no BuzzSumo, I used to go to dig.com, see what was popular and made the homepage, or Reddit, and see what made the homepage. And if they did an article on like 21 SEO tools that you have to use, I would create one called 101 SEO tools that you have to use and submit it and just make it way more detailed and thorough. Not just by including more tools, but by doing a more detailed review of each tool. That's how I used to do my research early on when I didn't have an audience. It worked really well, and it allowed me to get on like the Dig homepage or get a ton of social media traffic. Because even if you don't have a lot of social media fans, but if your content's so good that they'll start sharing and commenting and it'll go viral. But the key is to just see what worked in the past and one-up it by just creating something that's way better. That's the best place for you to start when you're doing research if you're a new blogger with a very small to no audience.
The recommendation on using Reddit, just to give you a little tool here, it's called Track Reddit. And this is a free tool that allows you to track certain keywords that are popping up in Reddit. So you can see in real time, or you can do real time, or you can do like a daily digest or a weekly digest. This is going to allow you to see, topics. For example, right now I'm tracking the keyword, business idea or business ideas. So I can start to engage with these people and then basically, talk about growth everywhere a little bit, or even, this podcast. But, using a tool like that, and going into Reddit, you have to kind of know your audience. With Reddit, you can't just kind of self-promote stuff. You have to build a relationship with people. So Track Reddit is a great tool that you can be using. One other thing, I think if you're first starting out, let's say you write one blog post. I'll give you an example. For us, I have one, epic post called Content Expansion. It's basically on how to promote your post. I think it's 4,000 or 5,000 words. It took me a couple weeks to do it. And the thing with that article is that there's a lot of subheaders inside of that article, right? These subheaders on their own can actually become their own articles. So if you have something, let's say, for example, I'm talking about sales processes that you should be using. So, automating your sales process or, setting like a sales cadence. I can make these into separate blog posts on their own. And then you have more blog posts to go off of. So you can splinter off your blog posts. You can also take a look at other formats out there. It doesn't necessarily have to be a blog post. Look at your favorite YouTube channels. Look at your favorite podcasts. What are they talking about exactly, right? Look at your analytics too. What have people been engaging with in the past? And then that can give you some other ideas to build off of.
I wrote a blog post about this a while ago. So I was doing a thing called the Nutrition Secrets 100K a month challenge. Try to create a blog that went from $0 to $100,000 a month in income within 12 months. I hit the goal. Yay. And this is a long time ago. And one of the ways I generated content topics and did my research for this space was I used this Excel spreadsheet that I got from a buddy and I gave it away for free. His name is Aaron Aegis from Ladder Online, Australian-based firm. He created this content Google Doc type of template thing, and I link you in one of the articles. If you just Google like Aaron Aegis, Ladder Online, Quick Sprout, content generation idea, like you'll find the post, and there'll be a link there to it. It posts from like Reddit, Quora, and a ton of different sources. You put in keywords, it'll give you topic ideas that usually do really well, and this is what we use for the nutrition site, which was amazing. Because think about it, I'm a marketer. What do I know about nutrition? Very little to nothing. So I had to figure out how to come up with topic ideas, and I didn't have an audience base to be like, all right, guys, what should I write about nutrition? This template was a lifesaver for me. Check it out. It's free. You can use it, and you can put in any keyword from any industry, and it'll help you generate ideas.
Yeah, and there's also some checklists out there that can make your life easier. I know Digital Marketer has, I think it's called 212 headline ideas. So there's a lot of templates in whatever space that you're in. I recommend taking a look at that one, and also Aaron Aegis' tool. I believe just to make it easier for people, the last name is spelled A, G as in George, I as in Igloo, U as in Unicorn, S as in Sugar. Aaron Aegis, and then you can search Louder Online. What's it called again? The tool?
Just search Aaron Aegis Louder Online. So 4 words, right? Aaron Aegis Louder, and then online, and then type in Quick Sprout, 1 word, and then type in blog content generator, and you'll find it. I know that's a lot of keywords. I'm sorry for that, but if you do, you'll find the Quick Sprout posts. There's just one too many posts in there on Quick Sprout.
All right, and there you have it. So that's how you can research new blog post topics. Don't make it so hard on yourself. It doesn't have to be too complex. But what I'll also say too, I do have a calendar invite for myself on every Sunday to come up with new topic ideas, and then we also have that content meeting on Mondays, where everybody on the team is required to come up with at least 5 ideas. If people on your team are not taking the time, 5 minutes out of their day to do this, you take them aside and you ask them why. And then if they say, oh, I just didn't have the time for it, well, you say, why do you think we're trying to do this? And then you have a conversation there. And basically, the reason why you're trying to do this is because you're trying to grow the company. You're trying to, put good content out there so other people can see it, so you can help other people. And, if one person isn't able to kind of hold their weight there, that's where you have a conversation with them. And I've had to do this a few times where people just didn't think it was important. But, after you have this conversation with people, things get a lot easier. So I think that's it for this episode of Marketing School. We'll see you in tomorrow's.
This session of Marketing School has come to a close. Be sure to subscribe for more daily marketing strategies and tactics to help you find the success you've always dreamed of. And don't forget to rate and review so we can continue to bring you the best daily content possible. We'll see you in class tomorrow, right here on Marketing School.